Right, so turn around, Jeff.
Right.
So turn around, face the camera, Jeff.
Do I need to?
Yes,
Oh,
otherwise
right.
somebody's looking at your back.
Well, it doesn't
Right,
matter.
so here we are,
Sure,
back at Jeff's workshop, and he's got now the top yoke of the Z1000RS yokes. We've now modified this stem.
Bottom bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
bottom
you
bit's
can
done.
see that.
Stainless steel, sort of a, what would you call that, Jeff? A cap or something, or a spacer? It's been...
It's a stainless. Well, we pressed the lug in.
That's right, got it
was
welded.
TIG welded in.
Yes.
We've cleaned it up, then we've pressed that on,
Onto
thread, and then it's been bolted as well.
That's going nowhere.
Well,
hopefully not anywhere. Well, hope not.
Only where the bike's going.
Yes,
Hopefully.
yes, hopefully. And at the top end, it's not. It's also not easy because you're showing me the top yoke here.
Yeah, that's been machined in.
So the top yoke, I'm not sure the camera can see it over there, but that's not just a straightforward hole all the way in. It's got a bevel on it.
Yeah.
It's got a sort of weird little bevel. Not sure why. So we've got to accommodate that in whatever adapter we make for the stem. So that's what we're just going to talk about now. So you showed me this.
Yeah, well, without that going in on the bearings,
Yes.
I'm not absolutely sure where that. Well, for one thing, it won't end up right at the bottom.
No.
So if I set it flush, so you can just. It's just
I have got the bearings in the car. I can bring you the bearings.
Yeah, but you need to put everything in the
Together.
frame
All right.
and then put that in the yoke. And
Which we don't want to do because we're going to get it
you
packed
don't
up.
want to do yet.
I know.
This is
It's
so
all
we've
timing.
got to make a calculated
Estimate.
So
you've got this thing here.
we've made that steel sleeve. It was a bit awkward. Well, it's a piece.
It's a strange
yeah.
little, just a simple sleeve.
It's
What's
not
this?
finished yet
No,
because
no.
what we've got to do is
And that'll go in the
that's
top yoke.
well, that's
Slide
ready
it.
to.
Yeah, that's a bit
tap
tight.
in.
Tap in, yeah.
Ideally, what I want to do with it is just
Yeah.
make it press in, and then that's quite.
It's also quite tight.
Yeah, but what you can always do is just get like a tiny little flap. What you want is it so it just like a light mallet, a mallet, just a mallet fit. So you don't want any movement in it.
Okay, so that'll make up the difference.
So we can. But the thing is now,
Yes.
if we've got that where I think it may end up,
Yeah.
the trouble is you can see how far down that is.
It's not coming up all the way.
And if we put a sleeve in, because that, ideally what we need to do is remove
Yeah, this is what you said to me
some of
before.
that, so it'll go
All
up.
the way up, yeah.
I think there's about 3 or 4 mil,
Yeah.
so we need to machine about.
Okay, but what it means is this has all got to come apart. That's got to go on the miller, and we're going to have to shave off.
Because it's
2 or 3 mil.
Well, I'm going to have to machine some mandrels to clamp in the vise.
Yeah, it's not easy. Not easy.
So you can't just if it wasn't because it's got to be machine flat because it's got to sit on that nut.
Yeah.
So you can't just fight.
No, it's got to be done right.
Ideally, it wants machining away. Until that is just
Right.
Now the thing is, if we do go too far and it does come up slightly proud, we can always put a shim washer on it.
But you don't take off too much, do you?
But if we get it in and and we can't do anything with it, well, like you say, if it's too short, we then got to
Do more work.
we're in problems.
Yeah, so obviously put in a stem, it seems like you can buy kits sometimes to fit, say, a GSXR front end to an old bike. Fine, you can buy a kit, but you can't buy a kit to fit a Z900RS front end to an old Z1. And it's not easy, it's not easy.
If you just hold that there now, the nut's on.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this is all...
Guesstimation, but we'll go with
It's
that.
in the ballpark.
Yeah, within a mil or two.
Within a mil or two, yeah.
And it's, how far out?
5.79, give or take.
So we want to take 5 mil.
We at least want 5 mil off there.
Yeah. So it's sort of on this boss here. Take 5 mil off there. It's still plenty strong enough. It's not really an issue.
Basically all you're going to be losing is that thin.
Yes.
Probably that thin bit on there.
Yes, yeah.
But obviously I need to unbolt all this.
Yeah.
I think the ignition switch.
It should come off.
What they have on there. Are you using this?
I hope so. Yeah.
Oh right.
I want to use it.
Well, what I can do is we can I think.
Hopefully, if you make some.
Hopefully,
mandrels
if I just tie that out the way,
you can put some mandrels on there, and it should be okay.
If we've got the cutter coming in,
it's not.
It's the handlebar clamps that's going to. You don't want to be smacking them. These are going to be in the way.
Yes.
So
take them off.
I can tape all that up out the way.
Yeah,
the ignition switch.
Yeah.
In fact, you could. You might.
Let's leave it. If I have it, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to leave it.
So we'll tape them up round there out the way and make sure they're out the way when we mill it. So I can do that now that you've seen what.
Yes, I'm happy with that. Yeah, all's well. I've just mentioned actually, I've just come back right now from Maxton Engineering.
Oh, there you still
over in Cheshire, and picked up my brand new custom built shocks for the Mark II project, which isn't this bike. But I've also brought along some shocks I've had for a long time, which I've already mentioned, from Progressive Suspension, and I want to see how they look on the bike. Now, most of the bike isn't here anymore, but I do still have the frame, and I still have the swing arm down here. So we just sort of loosely put it together and just see the angles and make sure it looks okay. I think the height of the shocks is pretty much correct, and the spring rate's pretty much correct. So I just want to see how it looks, basically. So that's what's next. Well,
I still need that.
Yeah, you still need all that.
Right, but these swinging arm bits now.
Oh, you done with them?
I don't need them.
Right, okay.
Don't forget the bearings in there need a good wash out.
Yeah.
A good
the issue we've got. Well, this is for me to sort out. You've also added a grease nipple here, which don't come as standard, unfortunately, with bikes these days. That's what you handle. I think they sometimes call them Zert.
I'm not sure,
in America, yeah. Now, this swing arm is going to be either powder coated,
it wants
hard anodized, I'm not sure which. And normally you've got to take out the bearings before you do that, because the heat of the ovens, when you put this in to sort of bake the powder coat, melts all the grease in it, and it runs out and it causes streaks in the powder coat. So if you go to somewhere like Triple S and say, oh no, we can't powder coat that, you've got to take the bearings out. The problem is, this has now been modified and the bearings have been sort of moved much further in. And so getting these out is going to be not easy, and I don't want to do it. So what we'll do is we'll just put a threaded bar through it with two seals either side, and hopefully that's enough.
Them are going over it. So if it doesn't matter, once they're over it, it'll all be. So
at the moment I'm not sure whether I'll go for hard anodizing or ceramic anodizing or powder coating. The issue I've got with powder coating is
now them big billy.
The big things that now look like that. That is the adjuster blocks here are quite big. And if you had it powder coated all the way, hang on, it's moving. These will get scratched to hell. They'll get scratched to hell. What I could do, of course, is just ask them, well, that's fine, powder coat it, but don't powder coat these surfaces here where the blocks rub against.
It's awkward for them that, because they've got to
take. Yeah, you got to take it all off. So that's a bit of a question mark. So now, just before we have a cup of tea, go and get my shocks, the old shocks and the old frame. We'll get it outside in the sunshine, and we'll see if they fit. And I bet they don't, but we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So here we are outside. We'll just put a quick rod through the swing arm to get it mounted. Here are the Progressive shocks that I've already mentioned in the past, and yeah, I thought they wouldn't fit on there. I think they're 12mm, but I'm not sure what these are.
Which way up does it go?
They go that way.
Oh, the canisters go up the top.
Normally they go that way.
Yeah, because you've got to. Is that gonna? Oh, is that? Yeah, it's clear.
And it doesn't fit. I think these might be 14 or something.
They could be 14, yeah.
Now, this side though, I think these are 10s. So, in fact, they don't even fit in there because they don't want them. They don't fit, do they? Well, it's pretty tight fit to do. So that's a big no-no. They're too wide.
They're too fractionally, not a lot.
No, I mean we can make them fit, but it's not really worth it. We'll file these down a bit, but well, can we measure how far out it is? Because we'll get the vern. We'll get the vern,
and
but it doesn't fit on the top, sorry, the top mount. It doesn't fit on the bottom mount. So these might well go back in the box another day, because they do have quite a strange size. I've talked to Maxton and they could not provide me with different sizes of these things because the rubbers and the inner mounts are all made for a particular manufacturer, and obviously they haven't got that.
Just 20, and that's diddly over 20.
20.15, yeah. And that's 20.2 something.
280. Well, it's depending how you move it. It's
20 basically.
It's just 20 mil.
What's that?
That's 21.
1 millimetre.
It's a millimetre too wide.
So we could take half a mil off each side of these and it'll fit, but whether it's worth it or not, I don't know, because then at the top here they don't fit either. But that's not so important because we're going to have to make extensions to these mounts at the top.
That is 14, yeah.
Yeah, to get everything aligned. So we're going to have to make something that fits on here to make everything fit. So I think these will go back in the box for now.
Well, if you're going to throw them away, I'll...
Oh yeah.
We can. Filming?
Well,
Are you filming?
Yes, it's all right. We're almost finished now. Yeah, so
Lovely.
right. So we'll call that a big sort of failure, and we'll reconsider. We could machine a 1/2 mil off these.
It's going to be. We could clamp this in the miller, and like you say, polish out 1/2 mil off each of them.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll leave that question open for the time being.
That'll cure the bottom.
It would, and we can cure it for the top because we've got to make our own.
We can clamp it in there and square it all up so
yes.
So that we don't want the swinging arm tilting.
No.
Yeah, but if I use 1/2 mil, it's not going to worry that.
It's not. It's nothing, is it? 1/2 mil in each of these is nothing. So that's something we might do. I'm going to leave that question open for the time being because I'm not sure yet. But
it's not something
I've got to decide right now. It's something I can decide at a later date.
It sounds easy taking 1/2 mil off there,
yes,
but it'll take you longer to make it, clamp it all to the milling bed.
Yes, I know.
It'll take you longer to set it up and just get the cutter.
It might be easier
out.
to go and buy some more shocks. Go back to Maxton and I'll buy some more.
No, you don't have to buy some more.
Well, anyway,
I think we could do that.
Yeah, it's about cost and degree of difficulty.
Well,
difficulty means expense, basically. So anyway, that's something that at least we know now. Doesn't fit the top, doesn't fit the bottom. The top's not so bad because we're going to have to make extensions to these anyway, which we can then alter the dimensions of when it's been extended. Yeah, it's got to come quite a long way. Right, okay, Jeff, we're now zoomed in from this area here. So the problem is this smooth bit where the shock actually sits is what, 14 mil?
Yeah.
And that's 12 mil, the threaded part. And the shocks that I've got here, they're 12 mil, where that should be 14, so we've got a problem. So to make them fit, we also have an issue because we have to move the shock mount out by however millimetres. I'm not sure. If we lift up this again and try and get it roughly level, I'm not sure you can tell there, but
you don't know.
I know, but roughly,
what we need to do is fit that in.
I know, roughly, I'm sort of halfway along.
We're guessing
threaded part.
We're guessing that the inside of the shocky face is going to be somewhere halfway in between the thread on there.
And so we need to accommodate that and also make sure it's nice and strong. Yes. So what?
I mean, I was just looking at that there, and the clearance holes in there.
Yes. The hole inside.
The 12 mil.
Right. Okay.
So if you were to cut them off,
right, and drill out that
and put some high tensile bolts in, you could tack them there, and space it and run some high tensile 12s.
What I don't want to do is modify this specifically for them shocks because I might not use them shocks. I want to try and keep it Z1 in terms of the sizing. So sure enough, we can do it that way to move the mounts out, but I don't want to modify it just to suit those shocks because I might change my mind and not use those shocks. They might be too short, too long.
Well, the beauty is with this, if you had a 12 mil going through there, the odds of it having a shock that's going to be smaller than than that for something like this it might be easier to, like I say, remove.
Yeah, but that's 14 in it, so.
Yeah, but if you was to cut them off,
all the way.
Hopefully, well, I can't get the vern in there to. Let's just see if we can measure one of them, the depth. But it's not that deep. Got some weight out of it. Well, that's about 17, so yeah, it's about halfway along the tube there. So if you cut that off, it'd still be solid. So trying to open them out, you couldn't really get anything in to take it through.
But your 12 mil bolt still doesn't solve the problem of having a 14 mil boss here.
It does, because if you were to cut them off and have a 12 mil bolt, you just then put spacers and a nut.
Oh, you make a little sleeve to go on top of the. All right, fine.
You just make an appropriate spacer at the right distance
of whatever you want to do for. Okay, that might be an option. Something to consider in the future, I think. But right now it's tea time, so I'm going to go home soon. Let me put these. Let's
put that back in it.
Shocks back in the car, and we'll carry on later on. Okay. Right, so here we are, Jeff, back at your workshop, and you've got this out in the sunshine.
You've rolled up just at the
just
right
in time, and I see you've cleaned up these
no,
pegs.
that's where them.
Okay, so I guess
It's hard if we go in here. I'd sawn them off.
yeah, this is where the rear pillion peg mounts were.
But them are the reminiscence of the steel that was welded, MIG welded down the sides here, and you can see the corrosion
Inside.
Obviously, once it, like you say, once all that's blasted.
Yeah, it'll go.
The thing is, if you was to leave them on and get it blasted,
All that rust is still there.
all that is still in
But
there.
it also looks awful as well, so that's great. We've got
And
rid
it
of
can rust.
the brackets there welded onto the frame.
They're all gone.
You've also got rid of that, which that lug
Oh, there,
on the
clean
inside.
that up, yeah.
You've cleaned up these pins that hold the footrest in place.
I don't think they did it.
Where they do actually come out. You can buy new ones.
Well, if they come in, I don't know what you're doing with them.
Yeah, I'll probably replace them actually.
Yeah,
We'll take them out.
I'll take. Well,
Right, okay.
we might need a bit of heat on them.
Yes, yeah, they are rusted in place.
If they're stuck
So,
in.
what else is going on? What's next?
Well, just spin it on. You know, it's alright. It's not going to do much
No.
damage to the tube.
Okay, so
So if you look there, you can see now we've taken the
oh yes,
cleaned that off,
yeah, we've got rid of the lock stops. We don't need
and
I've just there.
you can. What it is, it's MIG welded round there, so I didn't want to take too much off.
No.
But like you say, once that's flat,
That's all blasted, yeah.
if you actually feel that there, you can feel the dip.
Yes.
So when it's painted, it's going to look.
You've done fine.
Well, once the yolk's on and stuff,
the
you're
lock
not going to
stop,
see that.
so therefore we need a new lock
Yeah.
stop. You're going to weld it on here, are you?
Well, if I grab the yoke now, you
Okay.
can see where we're going.
Right, brilliant. Okay, so you've got your bottom yoke, complete with
Your bottom yoke.
my bottom yoke, and you've got some kind of...
Well, it was two little bits of aluminium. I've put a bolt through them.
Okay.
One's been skimmed to just slide in there,
Yeah.
and that one has been done.
Oh, so it mimics
So,
having the
so basically now, that is where
lock stops are.
the lock stops are.
Yeah, you don't get a massive amount of movement, but that's okay.
But these can be filed back.
Yes,
If
yes.
should we drop?
Yeah,
If we drop that now, you can.
yeah,
We can actually file these.
and extend it.
And
Yeah, we have to be careful that we need to fit the fuel tank in the correct place and make sure that the much
Yeah.
thicker forks don't hit the tank on full lock. Mounts here for the tank, need some correct rubbers on there so we can put the tank on and know it's in the
Yeah.
correct place. Otherwise we run the risk of the forks hitting the tank because those forks are a lot fatter and maybe the offset in the yokes is different, I don't know.
well, these will be slightly back.
Yes, so
And the bigger diameter.
yeah, so we will lose some sort of
Yeah.
movement in the steering, but it's not too problem. It's not too problem. I mean, looking at that now, that's about the same as my Ducati, which is sod all. You know, that's not a lot at all. I think we can do more than that though by simply
Well,
filing down those.
if you look at that now, it's touching at the back.
yes,
If these are if we keep filing them,
yeah, we can get a bit more.
if you end up with half that amount
Yeah,
on
it's
there,
no
it's
problem.
more than enough.
Yeah, I have actually now accepted the
Yeah.
fact that I do have to have these refinished because there's a scratch on it, and also we're having to file it down a wee
Well-
bit. So it's unfortunate, but needs must.
Well, I've had to get it on the press when
Yes.
we press that out,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's.
So we're getting closer now.
There's a couple of little marks on
Yeah,
it there
yeah,
where it's
yeah.
been sat on the
Yeah.
aluminium. Well, you can't do it any other way.
No,
You're
no.
not going to.
You can't make it on without breaking the eggs.
So once the new stem's in, you can get it
yeah.
sprayed or spray it. Whatever.
Well, I'll probably get it to. I'm actually tried.
I think was that scratched or not? I've not.
I did that. Yeah, I did that. It was in its box, and somehow
Yeah.
it got scratched.
Yeah. Yeah, but the main thing is it's been pretty easy
Yes.
to adapt.
Yes.
But what I can do now is I'll just have to keep filing these.
Yes. Yeah. We'll just.
We'll wait till we get the tank.
Yeah. I'll bring it next time. I bring the tank. What we got here, we can see we got these
lugs, aren't they?
thick lugs built into yokes. All we've got to do is file these back a bit, and that'll give us more movement. So that's great.
Right. Well,
So
I was just about to. Well, I've got that. I thought, well, that's my job to get that, and I'm going to start the yoke, skim that off.
Skim the yoke. Yeah, brilliant.
I started doing the footrests, and I thought, shall I do it? And I thought, no, it's going to be a nice day today, so I thought, let's get this grinding work done outside.
So next then, you've also got a piece of tubing to put along the bottom edge here
I've got a piece there, yeah, I can
to strengthen the frame. That's the first part of bracing the
We'll get
frame.
that in, yeah.
Okay, great.
I can get
Right, well I've got a cup of tea waiting for me, so
You won't get your cup
we'll
of tea?
stop there. I've actually got other things to do today, so we're a bit rushed, but progress so far is fine.
It's good.
It's good. Right, here we are back in Jeff's shed very quickly. Not much time. It's getting quite late.
Good.
But I brought Jeff a few things. Brought in the bracketry for the Mark II headlamp, along with a big 9-inch 50mm billet. Turns out he doesn't need that because he's got a little bit of billet we found. Here it is.
I thought we'd done this.
Yes, we'll do it again.
Why?
We filmed this last time, but the film got lost.
Oh!
So here's a bit of billet we've dug out, and here's the cardboard template, and we can get 2 of them out of this. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, we can get 2 of them.
I've also brought you something that arrived today, which is this. Believe it or not, the postman, I don't know how it got to my house, but it got posted through letterbox, and it was like sticking out the door like that. So in here is, put it down there, 2 1-metre rods of EN 24T tempered, so-called bright steel. Mm-hmm. There we are. And what can we make out of that, Jeff?
I don't know.
We can make out of that at least 1 set and hopefully 2 sets of engine mounts.
Engine? I thought you were doing them in stainless.
Yes, we are, but it's taken so long, it's not happening. So this is an alternative solution that we can do ourselves.
Right.
Certainly, I can use this on the Z650 at least. We can make them
Where did that
locally.
go that you brought?
I've got it.
Oh, you still got it there, yeah.
I've also bought a brand new die, a better die than I had last time, a more expensive one, which hopefully will cut the metal a lot better.
I'll have to go and get them back off Lister then.
No, it's no problem.
Oh, now I need to know the lengths. I'm not sure now.
Okay, well, we can sort that out. So anyway, that's what they're here for, just a sort of backup in case the stainless steel versions don't happen.
Right.
It is actually made from, as I say, it's EN24T steel. It's called so-called bright engineering steel, and it does have fairly good resistance to corrosion. So I think that might work quite well. So we're happy with that. I've also brought you today my Z1000 headlamp, just to make sure we don't make any mistakes with the widths for the new bracket. So that can go on there. What else is happening right now?
Let's put that.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, it's done something else.
And I put the sleeve in it.
Okay, yeah.
That's done. That's done now.
Oh, brilliant. This is the top yoke for obviously the Z900RS.
And now we can see.
So now that
I just had to run a little lineage through there. It's just.
I need to finish it.
Just there. That's it. And it's just below.
Where
there with the washer. Now we may have to shim it. It depends where that screw's going to go.
Yes.
But it's virtually
close. Yeah.
In the ballpark.
Yes.
So
excellent.
I'm hoping that it don't go down too far and that pops up a little bit. Yes. But if it does, we'll have to find a stainless washer shim or something to go between
so
it.
That's the top yoke
to get it right. Yeah.
The bottom yoke is.
Well, we need to file them.
So it's done, except for the fact that we need to, as we mentioned earlier in the video, we need to file down these lock stops to give me a little bit more movement in this steering on that frame. So that's fine. I'm sure there's something else. There was something else, Jeff. Something else, but I can't remember what it was. No. I'm getting old.
I've had one of them days today, where we
just busy. Yeah, he's had lots of visits today, so so that's fine. So you can keep that here for now.
Right. Well, I'll stand that up.
Yes. Wherever you like.
So where's the bloody put it? Where it's. Tell you what I'll do. I'll leave
yes, there was something, wasn't there? There was this.
I'll leave it there like that.
There was this. We mentioned this yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Which I forgot about.
You can see how they're bent in.
Yeah, earlier in the video we looked at the parts on the bike, and it turned out that my progressive shocks that I want to use on the bike if possible wouldn't fit the top mount, and also wouldn't fit the bottom mount because these are a little bit too close together. But you've now measured it very carefully, and
well, looking at them there, if you can see just how they've been crushed. They've been whoever's put the shocky in originally has pulled them in. So
these have been crushed together slightly by about half a mil or a mil or so.
A mil? I bet it's more.
Yeah,
without grabbing the vern there.
Yeah, by at least a millimetre. So that's why.
Let me grab. I can't
it's
grab
okay.
the vern.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But the bend on that there, it could. If that's bent back, them shockies will go in. Yeah.
So we've got to heat it up and bend it back gently.
So it wants a summit on there, and it wants a tiny bit of warmth because of how hard that is. If you try doing it cold, you're going to crack it.
Oh god,
you're going to crack it.
Heat it up.
Yeah.
So that's something that's good news. And also, of course, we're going to change the top mounts such that we can change the diameter of shock that we can fit. So fingers crossed, in about a week or so,
That'll do.
when that work's done, we can fit those progressive shocks to the bike.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful, because I did measure it all some time ago. The spring rate and the length of the shocks is about right for a Z1. So, as I say, it might all work, it might not. I might actually look at the bike and go, oh no, the back end's too high, too low, whatever. But it's a good start, isn't it? It's a good start. Right, so with that then, Jeff, time is marching on.
It's 25 to, yeah.
Yes, 25
I'm
to.
just gonna-
Time to go home, and I'll leave you with that, and we'll catch up next week.
Well, I have had a brainstorm.
Have you? Well, that's good.
Well, it involves a really, really bit of a serious jiggle about at the minute.
Jiggle about?
Yeah.
What kind of jiggling about?
Well, it means dismantling this to move everything while I can slide it other places, so I can get some room to get that lathe in here.
Oh, okay.
And
Another rejig of the workshop.
yeah, it's not that. It's the room.
Yes.
It's physically the room you need to move.
Yeah, the problem is this workshop is so full of stuff. It's very difficult to do much with it.
Yeah.
To move one small thing like this is going to mean moving, I don't know, half a dozen other big heavy
Yeah.
machines to make room for it. So anyway, I'll leave you that. I'll leave that to
Quandary,
you.
yeah. Well,
Right, good. So there's also one more thing before we go home, is the mystery of my crank. This is where
well,
either I've forgotten something, or you've forgotten something, or we've both forgotten something, or something's gone a bit awry.
Well, I cannot understand.
No. I'll explain the problem. I have since recently I bought two Kawasaki Z1000A1 cranks, both of which are okay, but not really good enough to go in the engine. So the plan was, we'll take them apart, take the best bits of both, put them back together again, get them welded, balanced, all good, get it in the bike. Yeah, that was the plan. They're in your shed around the corner here, but also in the shed is another crank, which I knew about. This is something we haven't really discussed before, because that crank was built and welded and trued some time ago to be used in my Mark II project, but for reasons that are so complicated I don't even want to go there, it wasn't used, so we ended up with another crank going in the Mark II. So I said to him, well, just leave it here for the time being, perhaps it'll come in useful on a drag bike, it's been welded, you know, it's been trued, it's a good crank, perhaps it'll come in handy in one of our future projects. Fine. And what we both thought, or I thought, was that crank is now sitting in the shed. Except, by some strange mystery, it seems it's not that crank. Because that crank in there, which looks like mine, it's all clean and it's all been rebuilt, I think.
It's yours.
Well, alright, it's mine, but it's not welded.
No, that's the one that we built prior to getting this other one, which is...
Right. Well, I'm confused. So I'm confused, Jeff's confused. What's happened to my welded crank from the Mark II, I don't know. Okay, so now we're just in the shed where other things live. There's the old Honda drag bike project in the corner, but I'm here to look at cranks over here.
I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, don't put me in the dark.
Turn the power off.
Right,
Well.
just stand by the camera there. Right, so here we are. Here we are in your shed, trying to buy bits of engine, and this is what we're talking about. We have got.
That's just our
diagram.
That's
So here
the
we've got-
dimensions.
Here we've got four different cranks. I think.
No, that's the comp bike.
That's the comp bike. Forget about that one.
Spares bike.
These are the two cranks that I bought recently.
Yeah.
Neither of which is good enough to go in the engine. But we can,
without checking,
no,
we're
we
not
take
sure.
them apart and rebuild
Yeah.
one good crank out of these. But then there's a crank that I forgot about, which is this one here, behind. I don't know if you can see it. It's all wrapped. It's all nice.
It's heavy.
I'm not picking it up. It's
It's
heavy.
bloody heavy. Yeah, it's all
Yeah. So this crank
oiled and rebuilt. Yeah.
You know, trued. It's all great. It's made for a Z1000A1, not a Mark II. That might have been actually why we didn't use it, because it was ZA1, not Mark II.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. It's back in the mist of time. I can't remember. But the good news is that is a good version of one of these.
One of these, yeah.
So this can be used in the future in the Z1000A1 engine.
Yeah.
These two can be combined into one good crank at some point in the future.
Let's strip them and find and check.
There's no rush for that.
No.
And no doubt you or I or somebody will find a good use for it.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so, yes. So that's what the problem is. And I must say, I've got no memory of that, but it could have been done a year ago. A lot's been happening since, so yeah. So what's happened then to the welded crank?
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's another crank that's gone missing.
Well, I'll tell you something. If it's in here somewhere, it's bloody doing
It's
a good
hiding very
hiding
well.
job.
Yeah, yeah. It may be elsewhere, we don't know. I know I've not got it, but hey. So that's what confused me, because I thought this was the welded crank, but anyway.
Well, it's definitely gone missing or hiding.
It's hiding.
Yeah.
I don't think it's easy to lose a crank that's so big and heavy.
Unless it's in there buried under a load of stuff.
It might be.
Don't know, like.
It might be.
But without moving,
It'll turn up.
It'll turn up.
Right. Well, you can do, because no doubt it'll come in handy in the future. Yeah, so that's not an urgent thing now. That's just something to be done.
Yeah.
When you're bored one day.
When I'm bored, I don't get bored.
Right. Okay. So talking about being bored, then this video's been going quite long enough. So
the last time I was bored was when I was sat at the computer.
Yeah. We've been saying Jeff is
falling asleep, going, "Oh God, what am I?"
You're an analog man in a digital world. I think you've been born about.
I'm out of place.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You've been born 100 years too late. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, maybe about
50
30
years.
40.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, we'll end it here. So thanks for watching, and cheers. And we'll carry on next week.
It's yeah.
Well, I'll do that bit again.
Yeah.
I'll do that bit again because it was crap.
Right.
And so on that note, then we'll end it here. So thanks for watching, and cheers.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.